and welcome back. Today we're doing puzzle number 83 in the Fiendish Logic Puzzle book from Puzzle Baron and Stephen P. Ryder. This one is called Classic Video Games. We have some fake, not real, titles of video games, 7 different ones from 7 different years. Looks like increments of 1 year. And they're being resold to 7 different buyers for 7 different prices. And yes, I did doodle a little on this page. Please ignore that. It's just a triangle. Let's get into it. Kind of looks like a pita pocket with stuff in. Doesn't matter. We have an incomplete list clue to start off. 6 of the games were the one that came out in '87, the game that sold for $55, Countershot, and the 3 purchased by Frank, Tommy, and William. Okay? So, none of these can be from '87. None of them can be 55. And they can't be Frank, Tommy, or William. Number 2. AWOL Alert and the cheapest game. One was purchased by Tommy. The other came out in '86. So first off, AWOL Attack is not the cheapest game. That's $35. And Tommy did not come out in '86. Another way to look at this, and of course, we're getting ahead of ourselves, but might as well jump on it. AWOL Alert, also the cheapest game, but we'll start with that one, has to either be '86 or any year that Tommy could be, which means not '87. Same for the cheapest one. Number 3, the video game that sold for $75 is either the oldest game or the one bought by Raoul. So the oldest game, which would be '83, was not bought by Raoul. Okay, now speaking of AWOL Alert. Okay. Of AWOL Alert and the game that came out in '85, one was purchased by Shannon, the other sold for $65. So Shannon is not $65. Okay, so I'd like to take a look at AWOL Alert. So that has to be, first off, Tommy or '86, then Shannon or $65. Now, it doesn't tell us much yet, because for all we know, '86 could be the $65. And then it wouldn't have to be Tommy or Shannon, but we'll keep that in mind. Okay. The game that sold for $80, which was not bought by Frank, is either Raoul's or the one that came out in '88. So Raoul wasn't '88 either. Alright. So 75 is either '83 or Raoul, and 80 is either '88 or Raoul. So obviously, it has to be one or the other. Let's figure out which by going through the clues. Number 7. Troop 7 didn't come out in '84 or '85. Victor Force, which wasn't bought by Kyle. There it is. Released 1 year before Blaster Boy. 1 year before Blaster Boy. So Blaster Boy can't be first. Victor Force can't be last. Good. William's game is older than Countershot. We already know William can't be Countershot because of clue number 1. But now we know William has to be older. Oh, and older means... Wait. One race before. So William's game is older than Countershot. Can't be the newest. Okay, good. Oh, did I skip number 4? The Counter Shot also came out before the game that sold for $65. Before 65. Okay. Okay. And it has to be Counter Shot, has to be older than William. No, other way around, other way around. So Counter Shot has to be older than William, so. Ooh, this one's tricky. So William can't be the oldest here. Wait, let me redo all this. This one's tricky, isn't it? Okay, so first off, okay, Counter Shot came out before 65. Okay. Okay. Now, William's game came out before Counter Shot, because that's what would make it older. William was here. Can't be here. Okay, now we got it. All right. Shannon's game was released 1 year before the one that sold for $90, so Shannon is not $90. 1 year before. So 90 can't be first, Shannon can't be last. Okay, this is... The next one's going to be a really good one, but first we got to do 11. Tommy's game came out sometime after $95, which is the most expensive one. So Tommy is not our most expensive. And it has to be sometime after that. Good. Now, William's game is either Magic Marbles or the one released in 89. William can't be 89 because that's the latest. And William's game has to be older than at least one than Counter Shot, so even if Counter Shot was the youngest, then it couldn't be 89. So William is Magic Marbles. Good. William is Magic Marbles. Which means it's on the list. There. Oscar's game, which wasn't the most expensive one, that's $95, is either Gator Attack or the one that came out in 84. So Gator Attack didn't come out in 84. Alright, nothing to put in the chart yet, but we're getting there. Okay. Okay. Number 2, of AWOL Alert and The Cheapest Game, one was purchased by Tommy, the other came out in 86. So AWOL Alert has to either be 86 or any year that Tommy could be. So not 83 anymore, same for The Cheapest Game. the video game that sold for $75 is either the oldest or bought by Raoul. Countershot came out sometime before the $65 game. Of AWOL Alert and the game that came out in '85 was purchased by Shannon, the other sold for $65. Let's see, $65 is narrowed down a little bit because of the earlier clue. So it could still be 85. So Shannon has to be either 1985 or any year that AWOL Alert could be. So not 83, not 87. And same for the 65, yeah? It's either 85 or any year that AWOL Alert could be. And then 65. It doesn't say how much for. Oscar's game has to either be Gator Attack or any game that could have come out in '84, so not Troop 7. That's jumping ahead a bit. $80 has to be... $80 must either be Raoul or anyone who could be 88. So... not William. Which means not Magic Marbles. Oh, Shannon, who we just updated because of clue number 5, is 1 year before the $90 one. 1 year before $90, yes. So 88 now cannot be $90. Victor Force, 1 year before Blaster Boy. Alright, let's clean up the board a bit. Okay. So counter shot can't be $65, $55. In fact, 65 has to be either be AWOL alert or any game that could have come out in 85. So not Troop 7. Troop 7. How about okay, AWOL alert has to either be $65 or any price that Shannon could have paid, so not 90. Same for 85, can't be 90, right? Okay, let me double check that. So 1985 has to either be $65 or any price Shannon could have fetched. Shannon can't have $90. Therefore, 1985 couldn't be $90. And that, I think, is important for some reason. Let's look. 85, 85. Well, Shannon is 1 year before $90. So that's something. Troop 7 can't be 90. So we'll get rid of that. Oh no! What is that? Sorry about that, folks. When I turned around, my dog was eating her own poop. Ugh. Let's get back. No dog videos today. Don't bother waiting for it. Magic Marbles can't be 75 because that's bought by William, not Raoul, and it's not the oldest. Oh wait, oldest would be there. I guess it could be 75, excuse me. This oldest thing is really throwing me off. But I guess that's what makes it a good puzzle. Let's write out some relationships. Okay, we have Victor Force, 1 year before Blaster Boy. Then we have Shannon, 1 year before the $90 one. Neither Shannon nor the $65 one can be 84. Therefore, AWOL alert can't be 84. Right? Good. So Tommy Oh, $80. What was that one? My dog is so gross. So 75 has to either be not 83 or any year that Raul could be. So not 88. And same for the $80 one. That's $80 is 88 or any year Raul could be, so not 83. So I guess the 75 one could be the oldest game, and then the $80 game could be 88. Interesting. Do we know anything else about 88 or perhaps 83? Okay, so at this point, AWOL alert can only be 86, 88, or 89. Back to the relationships, so Countershock. Sometime before $65. And sometime after William. William can't be $65, and that's Magic Marbles. So let's see. $65 can't be 87. It's obviously not $55. And it can't be Counter Shock. Can't be William. So it could be Tommy, Frank, or just not on the list. Unless... Well, if Tommy was AWOL alert, then he would have to be $65. Okay. Do we need to do a tree here? I feel like we need a tree for AWOL alert. So AWOL alert must be no, we gotta go farther. Let's start with Tommy. Tommy has to be AWOL alert. Or the cheapest game, that's $35. But that's not what we're looking at right now. No, I got it backwards. The tree. Okay, so let's talk about we have AWOL alert or the game that came out in 1985. And AWOL alert has to either be 1986 or Tommy. And at this point, Tommy can be 84, 85. '88 or '89. Really? Oh, and we'll put here the 65. Not very helpful, actually. Okay, so 86 has to be... Okay, here's one. 86 has to either be the cheapest game, 35, or any price that AWOL alert could be, so not 90. And yes, because 86 has to be AWOL alert, which can't be 90, or it has to be the cheapest game. So that means Shannon is 1 year before $90, so Shannon now cannot be 85. Perfect, we got it now. So 85 can't be Shannon, so it must be 65. That means AWOL alert is Shannon. And 85 is 65. and 65. Countershot came out sometime before 65. It's not 65, so it must be here, 84. Shannon is AWOL alert. Get rid of that. That means 84 is on the list. Can't be 55. Frank, William, Tommy. Good. William's game is older than Countershock. There we go. So William's game is the oldest. Do we know anything about the oldest game or just the cheapest game? Okay. We actually do know. We know that $75 is either the oldest game, which is William, or Raoul. So 75, William or Raoul. Victor Force is 1 year before Blaster Boy. Just updating that. $55 can't be William. Okay, similarly, Oscar is either Gator Attack or 84, which is Countershot. Oscar, there we go. Okay, AWOL alert is purchased by Shannon, not Tommy. That means it came out in 86. And that means that Tommy is the cheapest game. So Tommy is 35. And Shannon and AWOL alert are 86. And that means 90 is 1 year after that, 87. Oh, William is Magic Marbles. Alright, now Tommy is 35. Victor Force, 1 year before Blaster Boy. Alright, now 88 can only be Victor Force or Blaster Boy. Anyone who's not watched this channel knows why. I'm not going to explain it again. Excuse me, look at that. 65 and 85 are right there. Gator attack until it's left. Great. So Oscar's game is either 84 or 85. $87. Okay, 75 is either the oldest or any year Raoul could be. That one's already scratched out. Raoul can't be here. That's William. So since William is the oldest, like where was I looking at? Okay. No, that doesn't make sense. So the oldest game, the 75 is either William or Raoul, because Williams is the oldest. That's still good. What about 95? Do we know anything about that? Tommy's game came out sometime after it, which would make sense if it was the very first one, so I'm not gonna... Why don't we take a minute to fill out the board a little bit? William and 90. Very good. $80. All right, I've been trying to work through this, but let's see. I guess we gotta go back to clue number 1. I didn't want to come to this. Okay, so 83 is William, that's on the list. Counter-Strike was on the list. Gator attack. Let's see. That's 65 and 85. So it's either Frank or it's not on the list. So I'll put the pencil dot there. AWOL alert. is Shannon. So it could be 55, or it's not on the list. I mean, 55 are not on the list. Did I say 85? 87 is on the list. How about 88? That could be Tommy or Frank. Or 55. How about 80? No, the $80 one. Can't be Frank. Can't be Tommy or William. And can't be 55. 80, can't be 87. Could be Counter-Strike. Or it could be, it can't be Frank. Oh, how about this? Shannon did not come out in 88 and is not Raoul, so she can't be $80. And that leaves 55 or 95. What about the most expensive game? Do you know anything about that? Just that it wasn't Oscar. Oh, excuse me, I've got this one. Oh, how about this? How about this? Blaster Boy can't be the $90 game because 1 year before Blaster Boy was Victor Force, and 1 year before 90 was Shannon's game, which is AWOL Alert. They're different games. So the $90 game can't be Blaster Boy. Wait a minute. Yeah. We know where the $90 game is. And it's either Kyle or it's Raoul. Could Raoul be the $90 game? Let's see. That would mean the $75 game is the oldest game. And the $80 game came out in '88. There we go. Actually, I have here that $90 can't be Troop 7. Why is that? Well, more importantly, Magic Marbles definitely can't be 90. So Troop 7, could that be 90, or is it? Have I found my Victor Force? That'd be great. That would have been great. Oh, how about this? Blaster Boy can't be 90. No, that's not helpful. Okay, Frank is 65 or 95, according to here, so not 89. Right, so 75 is either William or Raoul, right? So we can get rid of, well, 80 is either 88. Well, 80 is either 88 or Raoul, so anyone that can't be 88 besides Raoul can't be 80. So now Oscar can only be 55 or 65. And that means he can't be here. So we have our Oscar. And Oscar is Gator Attacks, which is 65. Okay, and where is it? Great. And it is 65, not the most expensive one, I can confirm. Now, where, if anywhere, can we find it on the list? So, 85, not 87, it's not 55, it's not Countershot, and it's not Frank, Tommy, or William. This is great. This means that our 85 is the one that isn't on the list. That means anything else we can go, we have to associate it with a list item. So, for example, AWOL Alert is not Countershot, is not 86, and is Shannon, which is not Frank, Tommy, or William. But since we already know what the one which isn't on the list is, it has to be one that's on the list. It has to be 55. Shannon becomes 55. So it's AWOL Alert, Shannon, 55. Good. And that's on the list. And let's see. Okay. What else? Wrong pencil. All right, looks like 2 years can only be Kyle or Raoul. That's 84 and 87. So no one else can be those slots. 84 and 80. Well, they can't have any other slots, I mean. Which is good because that leaves Frank here. Actually, Frank was there already and I just didn't notice till now. Frank is our 88. And Tommy is our 89. So Tommy's game came sometime after 95. Tommy's is the very last one, so I think that's a safe idea. So these are both on the list now. Those years, I mean. Tommy is 35. And Frank cannot be 80. And 55 is found. Gotta keep that board clean. So that means Frank is 95. That means 75 is the oldest game, aka William, aka Magic Marbles. That leaves 80 here for Counter-Strike, Counter-Shot. Since 88 is Frank, and $80 can't be bought by Frank, that means the $80 has to be Raoul. And that means Kyle is here. So that's all our buyers. Okay. So let's see. We have Magic Marbles, William, and $75. Then in 84 we have Raoul, Countershot, and $80. In 85 we have Gator Attacks, Oscar, and $65. 86 we have AWOL Alert, Shannon, and $55. Then in 87 we have Kyle and $90. 88 is Frank and $95. And 89 is Tommy and $35. We just need the titles of those last three games. Okay. Got that. Okay, Victor Force is not Kyle, so we get rid of that. And that gives us our Victor Force. Which gives us our Blaster Boy. Which gives us our Troop 7. Lovely. So 87 becomes Troop 7. And Kyle and $90. 88 is Victor Force. Frank and $95, the most expensive. And 89 is Blaster Boy. Tommy, the least expensive, $35. Let's check our answers. This was a tough one, I think. Well, let's see what we did. Okay, I see Magic Marbles, Countershot, Gator Attack, AWOL Alert, Troop 7, Victor Force, Blaster Boy, William, Raoul, Oscar, Shen, and Kyle, Frank, Tommy. 75, 80, 65, 55, 90, 95, 35. We got it. All right. Now, I'm going to quickly fill out the rest of the board and use this extra time to thank you all so much for watching. Which of these fictional games would you most want to play? Are you a big classic game fan? I remember meeting the creator of Q*bert at a video game festival. I asked him, do you think Q*bert is saying any particular swear words or just jumbled? I think he said that he wasn't. No particular swear words. But of course, these aren't real vintage games. Have you ever been to a vintage game festival? I have. It was in a museum, and it was more about just playing the old arcade cabinets. voila, thanks for watching.